Plenty of top 25 football action this weekend, but the only one that involves two non-conference opponents may be the best one on the list. I'm here to break it down for you today. We're talking Ohio State and Notre Dame. Top 10 matchup, let alone top 25. Number 6, Ohio State, 3-point favorites right now, traveling to South Bend for the first time since 1996. Total sitting at 55.5 right now. And while they're two top 10 teams, two different and interesting starts to the season for these teams, if I do say so. Ohio State, not too many teams in football can be plus 251 net yards on average and considered somewhat of a disappointment to start the season. I mean, their offense only put up 380 yards. I say only in regards to what Ohio State normally does, but 380 yards of offense is a step back for them. Their defense only allowed 153 yards that game, but they only completed 58% of their passes. Second game, Youngstown State got a little bit better there, 480 plus yards of offense, but their defense allowed 234 against an FCS opponent. They passed a little bit better there too, nearly 64%. And then Western Kentucky last week, 562 yards of offense is a little more back to the norm, but the defense allowed 284 yards there too. You know, no surprise the offense has been led by Travion Henderson and Marvin Harrison Jr., who combined for 7 touchdowns. But Notre Dame's offense has been more impressive than Ohio State's with Sam Hartman at the helm there. 1,061 yards passing already, 5th in the FBS. But the 4 guys ahead of him are averaging nearly 40 pass attempts per game. Right now, Hartman's topped the 1,000-yard mark with only 22 and a half pass attempts per game. He's completing over 71% of his passes, and his 13 touchdowns are number 1 in the FBS among quarterbacks. Put that into perspective, Ohio State only has 14 offensive touchdowns this season, rushing or passing, and Sam Hartman's thrown for 13 himself without throwing an interception, not to mention Estime in the backfield, number 1 in the FBS with 521 yards of rushing, and he's tied for 4th with 5 rushing touchdowns as well. So definitely an explosive offense there, and I think there's some questions surrounding this Ohio State defense. Yeah, they're 2nd in points per game allowed, 3rd in yards, but Notre Dame's right there with them too, 14th in points per game and 4th in yards per game allowed at this point. But the reason that stands out, not only have they played more games, but they've played harder competition. I mean, Ohio State's closest line was 29 points. Notre Dame had a big win as just a 7-point favorite against NC State. Ohio State 3-0 straight up, but just 1-2 against the spread. Notre Dame 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the spread, including that game against NC State I mentioned. But they're 5-2 straight up and against the spread since 2014 as a home dog. If I'm looking at the side, I'm actually leaning Notre Dame to cover the spread for just a second time in the head-to-head series here. But I do think we're going to see a lot of points. I think we could see Ohio State's secondary get torched here by Sam Hartman, to be honest. And if Kyle McCord or potentially Devin Brown can't get things together at the quarterback position for Ohio State, I still think we're going to see some offensive production. But I think this game is going to be a close one, going to be a high-scoring one. I'd be looking at the dog. I'd be looking at the over there, too, if you're looking at a total. But, guys, like I said, plenty of top 25 action this week. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to get all the video action upcoming. You guys can click the videos on the screen. And make sure you head over to wagertalk.com, too, to check out all my other action. Got plenty of promo codes going on over there that you can check out as well. And we'll catch you this weekend.